remains were found. We believe that the suspect had killed himself in the morning, and that unfortunately doesn't provide us much information about how this happened, why this happened, why a beautiful young soldier is not with us today. They should be ashamed of themselves. Protocol was breached in every manner. We lost one of our own on our own base. Unacceptable, should never happen ever. Not just once, one person too many is what happened here. I have Vanessa Guillen's family here, her father, her sisters. Congressman Tulsi Gabbard was kind enough to come in and meet the family and give her support. Like we said before, we demand a congressional investigation. This should never have happened. And we will never know what happened ever until we get a congressional investigation, because everything we were given was lies. It was evasive. They were not sincere. They were actually very disingenuous to us. I don't know who's covering up for who, but it doesn't matter. We lost a life. We lost a beautiful young soldier. And it's time we fix our system. Women should not be afraid to come forth about sexual harassment. They should not fear reporting sexual harassment. This is unacceptable. It's 2020. What's happening? Sexual harassment is not criminal. That was what we were told. Well, guess what? We have a dead person because of sexual harassment. It is criminal. We want legislation. We need legislation so this never happens again. There was a strong young woman who died. She was strong. She ran. She played soccer. She was going for a hike that day. If she can get killed, who couldn't get killed? This could happen to any of our mothers, our sisters, our daughters. Enough is enough. One person too many. We want a bill in her name, I am Vanessa Guillen, ready to be passed that says you don't be afraid to report sexual harassment. You report it, and you need a third party to report it too. Like any other private company, when somebody gets sexually harassed, you call the EEOC, independent agency. Nothing to do with the company. How is it that when you are in the military, you can only report internally? How can they feel safe? They're getting blackballed. They're getting what is it called? Insubordination remarks, comments. Women do not, and men do not feel safe reporting sexual harassment in the military. You go to the webpage of I am Vanessa Guillen, and you will see hundreds and hundreds of soldier stories that are so disheartening that all these women face this kind of harassment and couldn't say anything. Harassment and assault, because harassment leads to assault. Just because someone doesn't want to talk about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And today we're here to demand a congressional investigation of how the protocol was breached, how this family, who deserves answers, never got any. We couldn't even know the name of the person she worked with that day, who we understand is the person who killed himself. What planet are we on? It's wrong. We need transparency. I want to introduce Myra, Vanessa's sister.
It takes a lot for me to be up here this morning. As you know, it's not confirmed yet whether it's my sister or not, but at this point, everything points to it. I really can't speak on what my family feels at the moment. My mom, she couldn't make it. She is feeling really ill. And on top of everything, I still have to lead on with making sure that my sister gets everything that she deserves. She needs respect. She needs everybody's help. We need the congressional investigation as soon as possible. They lied to us since day one. Fort Hood, they're hiding. I don't know what. I don't know who. It all. I'm surprised they even admitted the foul play, and I truly hope that whoever's responsible, because it's not just with that one person, and they need to get prosecuted for what they did. At this point, I just they lied to us since day one. When I first went up to that base, that subject, I met him, not knowing that he had something to do with it. I felt something was telling me that he did something and I wasn't wrong. Apparently, he still had the nerve that same day to laugh in my face, and apparently now he kills himself. Why, I don't know, but whoever's responsible has to pay, and we demand a congressional investigation. And I need everyone's help to keep the story alive, because they claim that sexual harassment is not, apparently to them, it's not important. What about now? Because it led up to this, now everybody wants to turn their tables. El día de hoy, mi mamá no puede estar presente con nosotros. Ella no se siente bien, ella está muy mal. Todo apunta a que puede ser mi hermana. No estamos seguros todavía. Estamos esperando la confirmación. Pero no entiendo cómo fueron capaces de mentir desde el primer día. ¿Por qué? No lo sé. ¿Quién está cubriendo por quién? No lo sé, pero se va a saber. Por eso es que necesitamos una investigación congresional que nos ayuden con eso, porque han sido bastantes cosas que no sabemos quién sigue. Tuvo que llegar a tanto. No entiendo cómo es que esa persona que ahora supuestamente se suicidó fue capaz de reírse en mi cara el primer día que yo llegué a esa base para preguntar sobre mi hermana qué es lo que había pasado. Quienes hayan sido responsables tienen que pagar por lo que hicieron, porque yo sé que no nada más fue él, hay más. Y qué casualidad que hoy toca que supuestamente se suicida. ¿Para qué? Para que no encontremos a quien fue culpable. Ahorita todos son culpables, todos los de la unidad de mi hermana, Fort Hood. Y tenemos que encontrar quién y por qué. No es posible que ella tan joven, ella era muy valiente, y para que le hayan hecho eso, no es justo.
I'd like to ask Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard to come forth and speak a few words before she has to go back.
It's tremendous sadness and heartbreak that we stand here today with Vanessa Guillen's family. her dad Roger and her sisters Myra and Lupe and her mother Gloria, what they're going through is unimaginable. We stand here for Vanessa. We stand here for justice. We stand here for every other service member who's experienced sexual harassment or assault and did not feel safe reporting it out of fear of retaliation. For years, the Department of Defense has talked about reform. For years, Congress has pushed the Department of Defense towards the necessary reforms. Some changes have been made, but these changes have not gone nearly far enough. What is happening here today is evidence of that. I've served as a soldier in the Army for over 17 years. My first 4 years in the Army were as a young junior enlisted soldier, just like Vanessa. I later went on to become a commissioned officer where I served as a platoon leader and later a company commander. I know personally the strength of and the importance of the chain of command. I also know and understand that fear that Vanessa must have felt. I know and understand how critical it is for our young troops, our young soldiers, to have trust in and faith in their chain of command, which is why these acts of abuse and harassment coming from within that chain of command are so destructive and have such a devastating impact on a young soldier and on the integrity and cohesiveness of that unit. This is why throughout my time in Congress, I have long advocated for real reforms through legislation like the Military Justice Improvement Act and other bills that would provide an independent, transparent path towards justice for victims of sexual harassment and assault by providing them a way to report these incidents outside of the chain of command, where they would feel safe from that fear of retaliation and would have the trust that they would have their day in court, that they would be able to seek true justice. This is what Vanessa and her family deserve. This is what all of our service members deserve, this justice and closure. So I stand with the Guillen family in calling for congressional oversight to find out exactly what happened to her. The fact that over 60 days has gone by and still there's been no disclosure of the internal investigation of her sexual harassment charges is absolutely unacceptable. We need to know why she did not get the help that she needed when she needed it, and why this family is forced to grieve and mourn her loss here today. Congress needs to do its job. The Department of Defense needs to do its job to truly serve and provide justice to the men and women who voluntarily serve our country and put their lives on the line. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congresswoman Gabbard. We're going to now bring Lupe, her sister, Vanessa's sister, to speak.
The human remains have yet not been confirmed, but I still don't lose hope. My mother's on bed right now with them pills. Why? Because they lied to our faces every single day that passed. Every single day, which is 2 months, more than 2 months. My sister Vanessa Guillen was sexually harassed, yet nothing was done to it. For her lacks of responsibility, safety, and respect, because they didn't respect my sister. They didn't keep my sister safe. They always try to cover up for each other. Why? My sister's a human too. She deserves respect. She deserves to be heard. Because if this can happen to my sister, it can happen to anyone else. My sister was also sexually harassed, and this led to this. They don't protect our service women and men. They're the ones putting their life at risk every day for the nation and for us. They take sexual harassment, sexual assault as a joke. Just see the hashtag I am Vanessa Guillen. All those men and women in our service suffering from sexual harassment, suffering from sexual assault because they report it, yet they take it as a joke. My sister's no joke. My sister's a human being. And I want justice. And I want answers. Because my sister did not do this to herself. Someone did it. And it's not one someone. It's various people. And if this can happen to my sister, what makes you think it can happen to other service women and men? They don't care about us. My sister's an example of it. My sister did not deserve to suffer. My sister did not deserve this. But yet I do not lose hope on God. Because God has the last word. My sister deserves justice. That's why we demand a congressional investigation to be done. Because for Hood, the Great Place hasn't done anything at all. And this is the proof they have lied to us. They don't work for anything. They lie to us every single time. My mother's in bed with pills. My mother does not deserve this. I don't deserve this. My family does not deserve this. Vanessa Guillen did not deserve this. And if those criminals are still out there, take my word that we will not rest, we will not stop, and we will keep fighting until you're behind bars. Because you're a disgrace to humanity. You're a disgrace. Mi madre, Gloria Guillen, está en cama con pastillas. Los restos humanos no han sido confirmados, pero no pierdo la esperanza en Dios. Mi hermana Vanessa Guillen fue acosada sexualmente en base mientras estaba trabajando. En 2 meses no conseguimos respuestas. 2 meses. 2 meses. No han mentido una y otra vez. Tomaron a mi hermana como si fuera un chiste. Mi hermana no es un chiste. Mi hermano es un ser humano como nosotros. Mi hermana Vanessa Guillen puso su vida por el país, puso su vida por nosotros. Y miren cómo la trataron. Nomás miren el hashtag I am Vanessa Guillen. A todas esas mujeres y hombres que han sido acosados sexualmente. Nomás miren ese hashtag. Forhud no tiene responsabilidad, no tiene seguridad y no respetan a los demás. Y esos criminales que están allá afuera, que se están protegiendo uno al otro, se los juro que van a terminar tras las rejas. Se los juro. Porque todo va a salir a la luz. Todas las respuestas que vamos a tener por la investigación congresional que demandamos. Porque en Forhud nunca hemos tenido respuestas alguna. Cada día nos han mentido. Cada día mi hermana es un ser humano también y se merece el respeto.
Well, I want to say thanks to everyone for the help me and my family. Y a toda la gente que nos ayudó a todo lo que está haciendo posible hasta ahorita. Es todo lo que yo quiero decir y pues que se haga justicia. Gracias.
We're going to open it up for questions. Anyone have any questions?
Now, for those of us who aren't individually involved in this case, can you take us through what Vanessa, she made an allegation against the superior, had she told her family but had been discouraged or afraid to make the allegation? And who is this person that may be the one who killed himself in the last couple of hours?
So Vanessa did report the sexual harassment. Vanessa did report the sexual harassment. She reported it to her sisters. She reported it to her mother. She reported it to her friends. She even reported to other soldiers on base. Many people recommended, why don't you just report it formally to your command and such? But she was afraid to, because the command, obviously, the sexual harassment was coming from her superiors. So her concern was the retaliation, being blackballed, being retaliated against. She just wanted to have a career in the military, and she didn't want that to, ruin her career. As we all know, victims do get retaliated against. They get questioned, they get assassinated. Their character assassinations occur every day, and she just was afraid to do so, like many other victims are afraid to come forward. It's not an independent agency you're reporting to. It's an internal process. People that she serves with, they have the sharps. So these are people that they work with in the same unit, in the same command. There's no independence. It's bias. And this has to be fixed. The system is broken. It's not working.
And this was like an immediate supervisor or somewhere?
That's correct. And we believe that the person that killed her is that person that sexually harassed her, the one that walked into the shower. She was taking a shower. She was in the locker room. He walked in and sat there, and she was very creeped out, as one would be. A young 19-year-old girl. Why is a man walking in his shower watching her, who's her superior? So, this, again, shouldn't have happened. And now she's not with us. I'm sorry, did you finish with the question? Okay.
Tell us how this legislation would impact this going forward. How would it change folks' mindset when it comes to reporting?
This legislation we would hope that it would provide a separate agency, something like the EEOC that we have as in the private practice world. It would have an independent person, not part of the command, not part of the military, that's unbiased. A different set of eyes. No one has any skin in the game. It's going to be independent. It's going to be unbiased. It does a review, does its investigation, and therefore, like the rest of us in the civilian world, we have somebody to be able to review that, and obviously other ways and another venue to go to and disclose whatever information that you have.
Have you folks heard from Fort Hood in the last few hours on the ongoing investigation, whether it be the remains found, any updates?
I sure did. This morning, 7:30 in the morning, one of the JAGs got a beautiful call from me. And I said, again, have any information? I mean, how do I find out information? How does this family find out information from the media before they find out from the command? What's going on? What a disrespect to this family. Can you imagine you losing your daughter and you're learning information as you go along from the media because the command doesn't feel like they owe this family information or facts? In fact, whenever they say anything, it's false. So how are we going to go about living like this and letting this happen, not just to us, but to others? Because if it happened to us, it happened to others. Like cockroaches, behind one there's five. And I believe that this is what's happening on that base. And that's why we need congressional investigation to review what's happened on that base. Who was covering up? Because remember, that armory room, there was supposed to be 2 people all times there. And then there's a separate person that has to get a lock keeper that has to get the 2 people in there. So there's 3 people all time, 3 eyes and ears. As we understand, there's a suspect in custody. The other one killed himself last night, and I understand a 3rd suspect in custody. And these are the eyes and the ears that were around Vanessa, that were harassing Vanessa.
So 3 of them.
As we understand, there's 3.
And had they been named or known to authorities? Obviously, in the last little bit since the remains were found, they went in on or closing in on this one guy. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that they've been looked at and been under suspicion all along?
We gave that information to the command. We informed the command when we were there at the meeting who we believe it is and why. From there, it seemed like the search went quicker, 60 days, and all of a sudden we have someone in custody. Last night they issued a bolo, and that person ran off the base, as we understand, on foot and shot himself when they came up to him. This is that same person that we are talking about her superior that she was with that day that harassed her.
And then the family came into contact with as well?
Yes, this is the one that Myra was talking about when she came to command, and he laughed at her. You know, and I'm not afraid to share his name because there was a bolo out for him. Aaron Robinson. Aaron David Robinson. I'm happy to send you guys the bolo that was issued last night. You know, why is it that we have to find out from people in the base this information? Because the command won't tell us? How dare they treat these people like second-class citizens? They lost their daughter. She was a soldier. We're supposed to be equal.
I'm sorry to watch this. So, Vanessa wasn't the first soldier to go missing at a military base, especially at Fort Wood, where in the past they've had issues finding people. The family has seen and said that they lied to and the command was dishonest. Can you walk through what people some of those lies were? And it sounds like you're describing a lack of urgency in the search. Can you go into more detail?
Sure. So, we understand with that base that there has been human trafficking. There's been so many. It's like another world on that base. And I've been to military bases. That base is just one usual suspect after another there. I don't know what's going on in that command. I don't like the way that they were evasive. When I questioned the protocol being breached, such as the check-in, the general came back with, "Oh, not everybody checks in." Really? Are you going to say that on the record? Not everybody checks in? Is that how you run your command? I mean, is it an anarchy or is it a military base? That was an answer to try to distract us to think that it was on Vanessa. It was Vanessa's fault for not checking in, when in fact, we find out afterwards they counted for her falsely. They falsely accounted for her at 3 p.m. that day. Why do I have to learn this? I am not an inspector. I'm not a PI. I'm an attorney. And it only took me 24 hours to figure out the problem, and they're going to sit there and lie to me? They're going to lie to this family? Why? What is the cover-up for? We need transparency. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I want everyone on that base to be reported on. I want a congressional investigation to find out who lied and why. Why was everyone covering up this missing person? Why weren't they transparent with this family? These are tax dollars. We pay these people with our own money to have these jobs, to do the right thing. Those soldiers that are there, I love our soldiers. I love them. I represent them on a daily basis. They don't deserve this mistreatment. This was mishandled from the start, and we should never allow this happen again. It has to be investigated. So,
I said, if any other female soldiers in that same base have reported.
Oh yeah, a lot of reporting. I mean, go on I am Vanessa Guillen. What is it? Hashtag I am Vanessa Guillen. Look, there are hundreds. It's awful. You know, there's missing soldiers. There's soldiers that are shot. I understand last year there's a lady, a mother in her car on the base that was killed on the base with 4 children. Did that ever make the news? That's in Fort Hood. What's going on in that place? And how did they continue to cover up these crimes? What is going on? We need to know. We need answers. We deserve answers. Our taxpayer money is taking care of that base, supporting that base. We deserve transparency and answers. Anyone else?
I'm sorry. What can the Secretary of Defense do in the meantime while the congressional bill is being pushed to protect our servicewomen and men?
Well, I would love for the Secretary to, first of all, call this family, give his support, give his commitment that he will make sure that this never happens again, that he will turn that base upside down. He will also support a congressional investigation of that base. That's a good start. After that, what could they do? I think the DOD, IG's office can come in. The FBI can come in. We have a lot of other agencies. We don't need that base to investigate itself. I saw what a great job they did on this case. We don't need any more investigations by that base.
Para Mayra, ¿nos puedes decir cómo está tu mamá y qué están esperando? ¿Cuándo esperan que les digan si es Vanessa o si no es Vanessa?
Over here. I understand 48 to 72 hours.
And how is the amount?
Yes, I'll tell you, yesterday I arrived with the parents, the family, and the first thing I did is I went to the hotel, and there was fire trucks, paramedics up front. My biggest fear came to light there. Vanessa's mom was out there having short of breath, symptoms of a heart attack, hard breathing. You know, this family is suffering. This shouldn't happen. You know, they come to Washington, D.C. to get justice, and they find out that their sister's remains were possibly recovered. You know, they drove here from Texas. Think of this. They drove here from Texas. That's commitment. We need everyone to be committed with them.
Oiga, además de Tulsi Gabbard, hay otros legisladores que les han demostrado su apoyo para hacer una investigación congresal.
We're asking all our congressmen and women, all our senators to come up to support this. I spoke to Senator Kennedy's office a few days ago. I told them how important this bill, this initiative is. They were very supportive of it. Gillibrand's office, I understand, is very supportive of it. You know, we want everybody, both sides of the aisle. This isn't Democratic, Republican, a woman, a man thing. This is an American matter. This is a national security issue. National security. If we're losing our soldiers here, not because of ISIS, not because of terrorism, but because of domestic terrorism on our bases and cover-ups by commands. I mean, have you heard of this? Have you ever heard of a boss killing their subordinate? I mean, this is insane. Who is safe to go to work if you go to work and you're dying not from war, but because your command is harassing you, murdering you, and everyone's covering up? That is not our military. Those bad folks, they are not the identity of our military. They do not speak for our military. As she says, they are inhumane. They're savages. They are not our military. They are dishonorable. They do not account for who our country is. I want everyone to know, every family has a weird uncle, a strange cousin. Those people do not identify the Army or our military. They sure don't. They're that weird person that nobody wants in the home. Nobody wants at the party. And unfortunately, they took over that base. They ruined a whole family. Families, because you know how many friends and families Vanessa had? Look at her social media. Thousands of people from all over the world. I'm getting phone calls, text messages, emails. I feel like she's my daughter. I feel like she's my sister. I feel like I can relate to her. I feel like she's me. I'm hearing this and seeing this. This is not what America is about. It's not about coming to this country and getting murdered when you want to serve. We need justice.
Queremos que todos los representantes, hombre y mujer congresional, que se pongan con nosotros para pedir justicia y que se mande una investigación congresional, porque como dije, esas personas merecen estar en la cárcel por lo que están haciendo. No mereces estar en este mundo. Estos soldados son inocentes y lo único que quieren hacer es proteger y servir el país. Ponen sus vidas por nosotros. Ellos no son atacados por ISIS, no son atacados por terroristas, no son atacados por otros países. Son atacados por ellos mismos. Su misma, familia militar. Los matan, los acosan, los abusan y los violan. Esa misma familia son las que le hace daño. La misma militar, la misma unidad le hacen daño a los otros. Por eso que demandamos una investigación congresional. Como dijo ella, esto le puede pasar a tu hijo o hijo. ¿Tú dejarías que tu hijo o hija se inscriba a la militar sabiendo lo que está pasando en estas bases? Tú no sabes si tu hijo o hija va a ser la próxima víctima. Mira, un acoso sexual llegó hasta esto. Y como dijo ella, si están cubriendo por uno al otro. Pero nosotros no vamos a parar. No vamos a parar hasta cuando ellos estén en las rejas. No vamos a parar hasta cuando mi hermana consiga justicia. Porque gente, millones alrededor del mundo están hablando de Vanessa como si fuera su hija, su hermana, su amiga. Ellos mismos dicen que son Vanessa. Aunque no la conocían, Vanessa era una persona maravillosa. Como dicen, nada es perfecto, pero Vanessa, ella es perfecta. Y por eso quiero justicia y la quiero ahora. Porque esto no, está pasando en bases militares. Pobres soldados poniendo su vida inocente, y ellos mismos se la toman.
Una preguntita más. Usted, su hermana dijo que cuando fueron a la base, uno de ellos se les rió en la cara. ¿Me puedes explicar qué fue lo que pasó ahí? Ustedes dicen que se les rieron en la cara.
Yo llegué ese día, empecé a hacer el papeleo en la estación de policía. Empezaron a llamar a toda esa persona que estaba cerca de Vanessa ese día. La presencia tan solo de él y yo en ese mismo cuarto, yo sentí que algo, no sé si fue él, si fue cómplice, lo que haya sido, él tuvo mucho que ver. Me miró y se rió. Yo me preguntaba, bueno, está bien, no voy a dejar que el coraje me gane ahorita y voy a seguir haciendo lo que tengo que hacer. Pero más de allí, nunca me dijo nada. Ellos como... ¿Tú esperarías llegar y que te dijeran en qué te podemos ayudar? Al contrario, me preguntaron a mí como si yo hubiera sabido qué pasó con ella, como si yo hubiera estado allá adentro ese día. Es como lo tomaron a broma. Fue una broma para ellos. No es justo. No pueden dejar que un grupo de personas representen al Army de los Estados Unidos de esta manera, porque ahorita hay muchas represalias, hay muchas cosas negativas sobre el Army, y yo no creo que ellos quieran que siga siendo así, porque mucha gente ya no va a querer entrar, mucha gente se va a querer salir. Son cosas que no pueden dejar que tan solo un grupo de personas echen a perder tanto de los Estados Unidos. No está bien, no es correcto. Yo le tenía tanto respeto y ahorita no puedo asimilar cómo es que pasó eso adentro de un edificio, un establecimiento federal. Es algo que no entiendo. Again, I strongly believe that the Army itself, they can't let this group of people put all this negativity on their name. I feel that at this point, for Hood, whoever's trying to cover for whom, I mean, sooner or later the truth will come out. I can assure you that, because we're not going to stop, and we're going to keep going until everything. We have to know everything. We have to know every single person, even those that knew and never spoke at this point. Again, like Natalie said, if you're not going to be a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I hope they realize that it can happen to anyone at this point. And I hope that the Secretary of the Army takes this very serious, because with all this going on, all this type of negativity, and it's damaging their name. And I had so much respect for the Army, especially when my sister integrated and she became a soldier herself. I was really proud of her, and now I have no type of respect for a service member at this point, because I don't know who it is exactly. We're bound to find out regarding the other suspects, and I just truly hope that they help Vanessa get the justice she deserves, because she didn't deserve this. None of it. She was the sweetest girl, the most helping person, and for them to take advantage of somebody, it's not right.
Any other questions?
Señor Roger, ¿por qué decidió Vanessa ir al ejército? ¿Por qué era tan importante para ella vestir el uniforme de Estados Unidos?
Ella desde que estaba en la high school, ella me dijo que quería servir como un año antes. Se escribió 6 meses con anticipación, no sé, porque quería hacer eso ella. Y pues fue voluntario por su propia voluntad, nadie la tuvo que forzar, ella sola tomó la decisión de ir. A veces el papá puede decir tienes que ir o algo, no, nada de eso, ella fue voluntaria. Y pues lo que le pasó pues está muy mal, y pues que se haga justicia es todo. Y gracias.
Ella desde los 10 años, desde chiquita, quería inscribirse a la militar. ¿Y sabe por qué? Porque quiso proteger y servir el país. Quiso tener unas grandes oportunidades en vida. Yo también quería seguir sus pasos, porque yo la miraba como la estrella de mis ojos. Yo también quería ser como ella. Ella quiso entrar a militar para proteger y servir el país. Y miren cómo está. Mira cómo la tratan como si fuera alguien. Es un ser humano. My sister, since she was 10 years old, she dreamed of entering the military. She dreamed of being that soldier. She wanted greater opportunities. She wanted to help my parents as well. She signed that contract with the Army to protect and serve the country. Yet look how they treated her, like if it was she was nothing. She's a human being as well. She deserves respect. And look, Farhad didn't give it to her. I want Farhad Army base to be shut down. To be shut down and to investigate every single one of them. Because they're staying quiet. They're protecting one another. I want it to shut down. La quiero que se cierre esa base. Quiero que se cierre, porque allí mi hermana fue donde sucedió todo esto. Quiero que se cierre, porque mi hermana merece justicia.
The spelling of everyone's names. Father, let's spell your name.
Yo, Rogelio Guillén, el papá de Vanessa.
No.
It's ROGELIO GUILLEN. Myra MAYRA, same last name. And Lupe LUPE, same last name.
One more thing, we're just seeing right now that a second person was arrested, a civilian. Do you have any knowledge of that person?
No.
Was it a female?
I don't know.
Is there a female involved?
Sure.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you saw me training years for that.
My mic working now? Yeah, there we go. Let me bring up something real quick. This is the picture that I could find on online of either the guy they had in custody or the guy who shot himself. This might be the guy who shot himself. Sergeant Aaron Robertson. So I don't know if this guy might be the guy who killed himself. I think that's kind of the way they explained it. Or this could be the guy they have in custody. You know, this case is gonna be yeah, he's dead. So this is the guy who killed himself. And I don't know who the other people are they have in custody. If it was his wife, his girlfriend. Let me see, somebody saying. I'm gonna check something out real quick. Oh, people calling. Wonder who's calling. Wonder who's calling. Uh-oh. I wonder. No. Let me see here. Oh. Man, this happens more than what you think, though, when it comes to military bases. I am surprised we're hearing so much about this, and I think it just really has to do with this family. I think a lot of times what happens is families get quiet because the military tells them to be quiet. So when people go missing, when things happen, the military buries it, tells the family little to nothing. But I'm gonna tell you what, they definitely mess with the wrong family uh in whatever fashion. Like, these dudes realize right now that this thing's not going to go away. It's not going to be something that is gone tomorrow. This family's not going away. Her story's not going away. This case isn't going away. And just because you shot somebody, like, I kind of don't even believe the suicide story, in a sense of, oh, of course he suicided himself. What was he? Who was he gonna tell on? What did he know that if he was about to face prison and worldwide persecution over what happened to this girl. What did this guy know that they wanted to make sure he was quiet? I just don't believe people who kill people. And I'm not going to get into this, but I don't think he was. I think he was probably suicided, to be honest with you. And I think that it's a very small, this is a very small look at something that is a massive, massive problem. So they said this guy suicided himself. Um, I believe it and I don't believe it. So it's one of those things where uh, I believe it, but I don't believe it. And so something's going on a lot deeper. They definitely didn't want this information out. I mean, they had this information the day after. This cat laughed at the sisters. This is the kid right here. This guy is the guy who laughed at the sisters. So was he a part of it? Absolutely. But the official story, if it's official, I don't believe it. Pretty much the official story is never the official story when it comes to the military. America's on the verge of something. I don't know what, and I don't know how to describe it, but America's waking up. America's waking up. It's a crazy story. It's going to be a crazy story. It's going to be a crazy way that they try to shape it in the media. It'll be a crazy understanding of how they, come down on the people around this guy. Are they going to just patsy him, or are they going to go at this a little deeper? You heard the attorneys say they falsified information. They straight lied to the family. Not even like a little bit, blatantly. And so it's going to be an interesting it's going to be an interesting case to follow. This is the case of Vanessa out of Fort Hood, and this is the press conference in which the family held today. Full press conference is in this video. You can just rewind it, check it out. Check me out at all the links below. Hey, thanks for watching Dad with the Phone. Gosh, I want to talk to y'all more, but I can't. I gotta keep them short. We'll see you guys. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be live soon. Soon enough. So take it easy. Thanks for watching. Check me out all the links. Make sure you share this video. If not for me, share this for Vanessa. Don't for her sister's sake. Her sister pleaded with you to not let this thing go silent, to not let this thing just fade into the news cycle. So you cannot take away from the passion in which her sister shared in this press conference. You can't take away from the ballsiness of the lawyer who shared in this case. And so hit the share button. You don't even have to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Just hit the share button. If you are on Facebook, hit the share button into your favorite group, your page, wherever you and your community gather. Thanks for watching Dad with a Phone. Thanks for tuning in. I got a sneaker coming in. We're not on video right now because I don't want to be on video, but you can talk.
Hello.
See, when it bounces up and down like that, they know you're talking. Interesting, huh? And if you watch enough Dad with the Phone, then you know who you're talking to right here. Your hair looks beautiful.
Yeah, no, because I brushed it.
You just brushed it?
Yep.
What's all over your face? Pizza? Probably better go get a washcloth and wipe all that off.
Weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
You're more weird.
You're more weird.
You're more weird.
You're more weird 1000%. Look, they're typing your name right now.
Weirdo.
All right. Tell them goodbye. Say hit like and subscribe and share.
Hit like and subscribe and share. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Ella, you're funny. You my girl.